Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World 2. Another guitar lesson today for one of the greatest songs ever written by the legendary Blue Oyster Cult. This is Veteran of the Psychic Wars from the album Fire of Unknown Origin, released in 1981. Now in this lesson I am going to do my interpretation of the studio guitar solo, not the extended guitar solo that Buck was doing back in the early 80s, which is just unbelievable. I'll put a link below, please do go and check out the live version of that from I think 1981. So this is my interpretation, this is the expectation level here, this is my interpretation of this song, and at the end of it, after all the chords and stuff, I will go over how I think the solo is played. So the intro is just a lot of keyboard pads going on, and then the guitar comes in and doubles part of where the keyboard's playing. Now it plays the first part twice. So the first part is 10 of E, 11 of B, 12 of G, back to 10 of E, like this. Just those single notes. So it plays that twice, and then the third time round it adds a tail onto that. So the third one goes like this. So we're adding the 8th fret of the top E, 10th fret of the top E, back to 8 top E, 8 of B, up to 11 of B. So those parts together. That's the intro, and then there's just like an E minor bar chord that fades out, just like that, and then the keyboards come in and there's vocals. So what I'll do is I will zoom in, or I'll change my camera angle so you can see what I'm doing there at the intro. So it's 10, 11, 12, and that's E, B, G. Does that twice, and then the third one, when it does it, it adds that tail on. And then the E, G minor chord. Someone on my door, back in a minute. That's the third parcel that's arrived for my wife today. So where were we? So we've done the intro and we're ending up on the, sorry it's getting a bit dark, ending up on the G minor. And then the keyboards and vocals come in. So thereafter, it's just simple bar chords. C, sorry my camera's struggling to focus in this light. So it's C over to G. Up to D sharp or E flat, so that'll be 6 of A, 8 of D, back to the G minor. So that part, this is when the guitar comes in, just after there's been, I think, 2 lines of vocals. And then comes a series of single notes which can be quite tricky to get up to speed. So it's 5 of D over to 3 of G. Now you do a string skip, this is what makes it quite difficult, over to 5 of A and down to 3 of A to 5 of A again, down to 3 of the bottom E. So slowly. And then it's down to F, first fret of the bottom string, up to 3, and then quickly over to 2 stabs on a C power chord. So that's 3 of A, 5 of D. So I'll play that whole thing slowly. Two stabs on that, and then we move up to a D power chord, so it's 5 of A, 7 of D, and then we play this 4, which is quite tricky. Well, I mean, it's not tricky to count to 4, but it's tricky playing 4 when you're normally used to playing something a bit different for that. So it's 2 on the C, 4 on the D, like that. So that whole part, reasonably slowly. And then we move back to the C power chord, over to G, back to C. Now it sounds to me like he plays an octave G after that, so that'll be 5 of D, 7 of G, back to the C, if that makes sense. So I will play what we've got so far. So we finish the intro with a G minor. And then when we come back in, it's a C power chord to the G, D sharp, back to G, single notes, and then what I play is I play another series of single notes here. I'm not sure if that is correct, but here's what I play. So it's 3, 5 of A, back to 3 of A, 3 of the bottom E, and then 1 of the A. And again. So it plays that once, and the second time plays this. So it's 3, 5, 6 of A, 3 of D, 5 of D, back to 3 on the A string, like a C chord. So all together, that part goes. And then up to the D sharp, back to G minor, and it hangs on that again. So what I'll do is, I'll play through all the parts we've got so far slowly. So the intro. So that's the intro, finish on a G minor. And that fades out, and then the singing and all that starts. When we come back in, it's the C to G power chords. D sharp, G. Single note run. C, D, 4 notes, back to the C, G, finish up on the G minor, and then we let that hang when the next verse comes in. Dunsy from the future here, editing the video, I realised I missed this part out. So we come from the D sharp to the G minor, then we play 3rd fret of the bottom E string, first fret of the A string, up to the 3rd fret of the A string, put down our finger on the 5th fret of the D string as well, C power chord. Play that again. And then the last one we play. So the last one is just the A sharp power chord. Back to A sharp, G, F. Finish on the G. So I'll play that whole part slowly, coming from the D sharp. So that's really all the parts of the intro and the verse, as I hear them anyway. That's how I hear them. It takes a little bit of time to get them all up to speed like that. Takes a bit of time to get that up to speed. So that's how I would play all the rhythm parts of this rather fantastic song. Now for the solo, what I'll do is I'll maybe explain as best I can. Now, the first thing to explain is Buck Dharma is an incredible guitar player. His note choice, his melody, pitch control, everything like that. He's just such a good guitar player. So for me to sit here and say, this is what Buck Dharma plays, I would be, I would be incorrect in that. This is what I think he plays. And the most important thing about this is, on the album, he's got a repeat going on. So he's only playing each part once. I mean, it sounds like he's playing it 4 times, but he's only playing it once. And he has a delay. So he plays it once, and then there's like 3 or 4 repeats. And then just when the last repeat is finishing, he comes in with the next series of notes. So it's like it's going on and on, but it's more to do with the delay. So what I'll do is I'll try and get a rather amateur delay sound. This probably won't be the right delay sound, but really just to give you an idea. So the way I hear this, I think the first note is the 3rd fret of the B string. So that D, it's like he's raking up and landing on the 5th fret of the G string. That's really the note we're targeting, but we're hitting that D first. And then as soon as you hit the 3rd fret of the G, bend it up, down, and then pull that off to the 3rd fret of the G. Maybe live he's going and hitting the 5th fret of the D string like that G as well. Not sure, but it's certainly those first 3. You could play that, but I don't think that's right. So I think it's just this. And then with the delays, not the ones I've got, but the ones he's using, is going on each time, and he just lets it go. And then he comes in with this next. I think he comes in with this next part. So that's 2 of the G string, hammer on to 3, pull off again. 3 of D, slide up to 5 of D. So far we have. Now the next part on the studio version, it sounds like he's playing these notes. The live version sounds like he's bending them, but I think studio version he's playing 9 E down to 8 E, 11 of B, and then when he hits 11 of B he bends it up, and then we come down to 8 of B, so that goes. Now the next part sounds a bit easier. I think he's just coming up and going and hitting the 11th, sorry, the 13th and then 15th of the top E string. Again, with all that delay, it's keeping going on. So far, here's what I think we have. And then I'm hearing this like octave G note, which he may be playing up here on the D string. That'll be what, 17 over, there's 17D over to 15B, and as soon as you hit the 15B, slight bend on that, and then up to 17 of the top E with a half tone bend, up and down to that part, down to 15 top E, 15B, 15G, 17D, down to 12D, and then finish on the 13th of A. So that's how the solo sounds to me in the studio version. So I'll play all those parts together slowly. Some more of the rhythm parts I showed you earlier. So there you have it. That is my possibly rather amateurish take on the guitar parts of Veteran of the Psychic Wars. One of the greatest songs ever written, and please do check out the link below to the live version. I'll maybe try and go over the live version at some point and try and work out what Buck's playing in that. He's playing a lot of octave notes and stuff. It's just sublime. It's sublime. So there you go, folks. That was my lesson for Veteran of the Psychic Wars by BLUE Oyster Cult from the album Fire of Unknown Origin, released in 1981. As ever, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsy's Guitar World 2. Cheers for now.